Thank you for stopping by Ballistic Barbecue. On this video, I am going to be making a Smokey double bison bacon cheeseburger with a beer, bacon, and sriracha barbecue sauce. Try saying that 3 times. Anyway, let's get going. All right, now this burger was inspired by my buddy Dan over at the Smoky Goodness channel. Dan cooks and eats more bison than anybody I've ever met. But anyway, his channel is just a fun channel. He has some great recipes. I think he's got probably the best voice on YouTube.
From a football Sunday in autumn, welcome to Smoky Goodness 2.0. Today featuring some really great, unique nachos.
So go check them out, give them some love, sub them. Now I tried to come up with a burger that I think Dan would enjoy. One of the components of this burger is going to be a haystack made of fried onions and fried jalapenos. So we're going to go ahead and start prepping that now. We're going to basically just julienne these jalapenos. Okay, now we're going to prepare the onion for the mandolin, and I just want to cut the top and the bottom off. Now right here, from the center out, I want to cut just straight down. And that's so we'll get these nice long kind of strings for my onion here. All right, this looks great. Like I say, we got these nice long strings of onion now. So I'm going to go ahead and take the onions and loosen them up. Get them into this bowl here. And I'm going to mix the jalapenos in with them. All right, we're just going to set this aside. I'm going to let the juices from the onion kind of coat the jalapeno, and that'll help the really light breading. We're going to use adhere to everything. Let's move on to the next step. All right, now this burger actually has 2 bacon components, which is a good thing. The first is going to be in that sauce. We're using bacon in the barbecue sauce we're topping this with. Second's going to be in the form of a nice thin little kind of a crispy bacon patty that we're topping these bison burgers with. We're going to go ahead and prep that now. So what I have here is 4 slices of bacon stacked on top of one another, and I put these in the freezer to let them kind of firm up. Makes it easier to cut. And I'm going to cut these at an angle because I want the bacon slices to be as long and thin as possible so they'll kind of tangle up on one another when we form this patty. It'll make it hold together better. So let's go ahead and keep slicing these. And that's what we're looking for. We'll go ahead and set this aside and let it kind of thaw out, and then we'll actually make that little patty. All right, our second use for the bacon again is going to be in that sauce. So total opposite on this one. I wanted just a really fine mince on this bacon. All right, this is exactly what I'm looking for, just a really fine mince. So let's go ahead and start working on that sauce now. All right, I have a medium hot pan here. I'm going to add that bacon. Start cooking this down. All right, we're getting some great color here. Fat's all rendering. And the next thing we are going to add is 4 cloves of crushed garlic. Get that in with the bacon. We want the garlic to start cooking and giving off a fragrance, but we do not want it to burn. We're going to go ahead and deglaze this pan now with 1/2 cup of ale. You can use whatever beer you want. I'm using Arrogant Bastard by Stone Brewery, a local brewery. Love the stuff. All right, so now the beer, the bacon, the garlic's all boiling. We're going to start adding those other ingredients. I have here 1/2 cup of ketchup. 1/4 cup of Sriracha sauce. It's going to add some heat. 1/4 cup of dark soy sauce. And this is salted soy sauce. So we have the bitterness of the beer, the heat from the sriracha. We're going to balance it off with some brown sugar. I have here 1/2 cup brown sugar. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce, or Worcester sauce, however you want to pronounce it. 2 tablespoons going in. 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Get this all stirred up nice. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get this on my real stove, let it kind of reduce a little bit. In the meantime, we're going to get going with the meat. All right, and here's my bison. Now, I actually purchased this at a local market that carries a lot of specialty items. I know it's a lot more readily available than it used to be. However, when I bought this stuff, I looked at the label and I realized this was from Broadleaf Game Meats, and I've done a lot of stuff using their products. So if you do want to try the bison and you can't find it at a store, I'll put the link down below, order it. They're a great company and they have a lot of really cool stuff. Anyway, let's go ahead and get these going. This is very, very, very lean, a lot leaner than the beef that I'm used to using. Basically what I'm going to do is just make 2 meatballs. I want to try to keep this meat as loose as possible. And it's definitely over 1/4 pound. I'm going for more for scale of the hamburger buns I'm using though. That's usually what I do. All right, now let's go ahead and make that little bacon patty. I'm going to use a form ring and it's about the same diameter as the buns I'm using. I'm going to take that bacon, which is now nice and thawed out, separate them. I'm just going to lay them in there, kind of like you'd lay spaghetti down. I want to make sure all these little strands are kind of tangled up. That's awesome. What I'm going to do is just cut this out, put it on a paper plate, toss it in the freezer just long enough to get this set up a little bit. I'm not freezing it or anything. All right, in the meantime, I'm going to get the grill ready out in the patio. See you out there. All right, a nice rainy day here in San Diego, and boy, do we need it. But I'm dry under the patio, so everything's good. Got the Weber fired up. I'm going to be using my flat top. Got the Cray Court little skillet with the oil in it, and this is going to be a little warming area if I need it. First thing I am going to do is get this bacon patty down, and we will get a weight on top. All right, let's give this a flip. So I'm going to flip this again. Obviously there's not the crust that I want on this just yet. All right, while the bacon's cooking away, we're going to go ahead and get those bison patties down. I have here some clarified butter. Hold this down a good 10 seconds. Going to hit this side with just some kosher salt. Repeat. Now we've got what I'm looking for with the bacon. These are getting close to flipping. I'm going to go ahead and use my stunt double spatula here. Get the bacon off and just get it off in that little warming area. Just leave it on the spatch. So I have here smoked Gruyere cheese. Smoked provolone. Old lid from an old wok. Now let's get those onions and jalapenos going in the oil, hot oil, about 375. Right, now here's the buns. Very, very, very fresh buns. Actually came from the bakery this morning. And I'm going to take just a little mayo, thin layer of mayo on both the top and bottom. And this is something I learned from one of my subscribers. It just makes this unbelievable crust when you toast it with a little mayo on here. Bam. Onions and jalapenos are done. And there you go, see that? Beautiful. All right, let's make a burger. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is lay down that gorgeous patty number 1 with the smoked provolone. Now patty number 2 with the smoked Gruyere. And we're going to do that nice crisp bacon patty. And we're going to apply that barbecue sauce, and I have to tell you, it is insane. I'm very, very proud of this sauce. It'd go great on ribs, by the way. Now we're going to lay down the fried onions, the fried jalapenos. And now that mayo toasted bun. I would say this is a burger fit for Dan over at Smokey Goodness. Let's give this thing a try. Oh man, it's monstrous. Wow. I mean, you definitely get a kick in this, but I think it's a really good balance between the savory and the heat. Then there's that little bit of sweetness coming in from that barbecue sauce. But again, that barbecue sauce, I was really, really, really happy with that. I was, trying it in the house before we brought out to the grill. And it's just got that, it's more savory than anything, but there's a nice little balance of the sweet, and then that Sriracha just nails you. Anyway, guys, thank you for stopping by. Do me a favor, go check out Smokey Goodness. He's just a great guy, and again, great channel. I will see you on the next video. Keep those requests coming in. Cheers. Two tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce.